Moving on, we had earlier discussed what strategic alliances are. We are going to know now characteristics of strategic alliances, what it entails, and some aspects of it. If you are just joining us, don't forget to like and click notification. Click also that you will not miss on any upload that we are going to be making. Characteristics of strategic alliances. One of it is mutual goal, also long-term perspective. It entails risk mitigation, resource management and sharing. Autonomous entities must come together, value creation, and it involves different types of alliances, some of which we had earlier mentioned. Now we are going to go into the details of what character they entail. First of all, when we are talking about risk mitigation, when we share our risk, it becomes less burdensome. Even the financial institutions, the insurance companies, they still reinsure. That is why the insurers do reinsurance, because they too want to minimize and manage their risk in form of mitigation. So when organizations come together to collaborate, also they are sharing the risk, particularly in the endeavor of that involves substantial investment opportunities, and the business involves uncertainty. So by spreading among partners, the collaborators, the strategic partners, they actually mitigate risk. That is one of the characteristics of a strategic alliance. Equally, it can stand as a benefit when we have strategic alliance. Let's talk about mutual goal. There must be common objective or objectives before organizations can go together to form an alliance. Also, they must share resources between one another. Organizations in strategic alliance often pool their resources, just like we pool ourselves. We say pool car. One friend that is going to an employment around the same area carries 2 or 3 friends in his car today. Tomorrow will be the next person's turn. Tomorrow will be another person's turn, and supposedly the third person among them does not even have a car. Then he or she can fuel. That is the power of resource sharing. So when organizations come together in alliance, resource sharing is common character among the partnership or the formation. So it may be in form of their human capital resource, may be in form of distribution network that's already established by one company or the other. Intellectual property, we cannot overemphasize it, among other financial resources and technological know-how. They enhance the capabilities that all of them have together. Also, when we are talking about characteristics of a strategic alliance, we will be talking about complementary expertise. One of them can do something better than the other, so everyone will stand in their home place of strength to come together to form an indivisible and an organization that is ready to take advantage and maximize performance. So the skill, the knowledge they are brought together, and the synergy is actually will be very tight, which can lead to enhancement of product development, service delivery, and of course there will be market penetration, right? We can talk of autonomous entities as another character. Despite collaborations, organization in strategic alliance remain independent. Don't forget, when we were defining what strategic alliance is, we touched on this a bit. So the entities are independent, owned by its own management, and have its own structures, the operational controls, and the like in place. So this preserves the entities' individual legality and legal status, different from the strategic alliance business venture that they are into. Governance structure too is another characteristics that must be talked about when we are discussing the character of strategic alliance. So there must be well-defined agreement. It must be signed, and crucial areas we must ensure we touch on them so that there will be smooth and nice experience together. Decision-making processes must be included in the governance structure, responsibilities of the individual organizations, and also profit sharing. That one, Akoko, right? The profit sharing must be included. Value creation is inevitable, right? In fact, it's one of the key objectives of strategic alliance. We want to create value. People reward us with money when we create value, when we solve a problem in the world around us. So it's another characteristics of strategic alliance for value creation. We cannot overemphasize it. Also, strategic alliance can have a long-term perspective. Many times it does. Sometimes it could be short-term objective, but many times, because by definition of what strategy really is, it entails looking at the future, in which we are not talking about 1 to 5 years, right? We are talking about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years. So it can outlive the owners or even those that initially signed the agreement. Long-term perspective. We had actually looked initially about some types of alliances. Let me quickly round up on that. When we are talking about another character of strategic alliance, then we must mention joint venture. We must mention contractual alliances in form of partnership and the like. Some could be equity based, some alliances may be non-equity alliances and the like, in form of riding on one other's license agreements, contractual agreements, and the like. From GJAMES Associates, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to share. We are value to life, we are value to your businesses. Next, we will be looking at the key. Okay, this is the summary. Let me quickly summarize the things we've touched on. When we are talking about strategic alliance character, we are talking about collaboration, we are talking about cooperative agreements, we are talking about resource sharing, expertise being put together to enhance our capability for performance. So the fundamental aspect of business strategy and management is to mitigate risk, to innovate, and to grow the business. So effective governance and clear understanding of how we are going to have our shared goals achieved, and also sharing of the profit. So next we will be looking at This is what we've achieved. We've been able to define what alliance is. We had looked at the characteristics. Next, we'll be looking at why organizations really form alliances. Then we are going to summarize in that video. Don't forget to like and share. GJAMES Associate Gbenga Olatunji FCA has been speaking. We have value to life. We have value to your businesses.